What's up, friends? Can't Flip for Ship here, and always, always, always remember 2 feet, no diving. And I'm here today. I just wanted to talk about my days whenever I sold cars. And the reason why is just because I realized that a lot of people don't know that I used to do that. It was just something that I did. I dropped out of college to sell cars, actually. I just thought to myself, like, yeah, college isn't really for me. Sorry if I drop this thing a few times, it's gonna happen. College really isn't for me. College is more for like people that like to do college. And that's kind of a goofy ass thing to think, just because you got to realize that sometimes in life, or I realize that sometimes in life you have to do things that you don't want to do. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that? And so I was kind of in that position where I just thought that people who did college just loved doing schoolwork all the time, which is not necessarily true. And so that's kind of where I was coming from. And I quit and started working at the dealership. And a lot of crazy stuff happened while I was there. Oh shit, that's a bite handle scissor. A lot of crazy stuff happened while I was there. For example, we would have people that would come in off of drugs all the time. And like most sane people would be like, man, when somebody's off of the drugs, you gotta like kick them out or whatever. But in the car industry, when people are on drugs, you try to sell them. So like we wanted to take advantage of people to the highest degree that we could. And so these guys would just kind of be like, yeah, just if they're in a bad state, remember, that's your best possible opportunity to get the sale. There's a lot of evil that goes on in the car industry. We had guys like, I tell you this, everybody that was in that building was on some sort of substance. And that was just normal. Like, it was just normal. And the guy even said, like, yeah, if you do something, I don't care. As long as it makes you better at your job, I literally do not care. He's like, the only thing is that I shouldn't be able to smell it, see it, or be able to tell that you're on it, or some crap like that. So everybody in that building was on something. I have so much trouble with aerials with this thing because the scissors, they just don't, I don't know if it's because the handles don't separate enough, but they just it's so anyways, I'm not going to bother with talking about that right now. But yeah, so if you were on a substance, he didn't care. He wanted you on that substance. If it made you better at selling, even there's people there that were ex-addicts and he still promoted that culture just because that's all that they really cared about was the profits. So that's one part. Another thing is that they didn't really care about the safety of the people. Like there was people that would come in off of drugs all the time that were like customers that were looking to buy. And he would have me go and test drives with them, which granted, I mean, I didn't really mind. I was so young and naive. I was like, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he would have me go on test drives with these people that were like clearly zooted out of their mind. And there was this one guy that was like really, really baked. And he took our Mustang, like our high Mustang GT out there into the highway. And I was in the back, and he had his pregnant wife with him while he was there, and he was smelling like freaking drugs with his pregnant wife, and I'm in the back seat, and he's like going, I gotta be like at least 110 miles an hour down the freaking freeway and stuff, and I'm just like, bro, like, you don't give a damn about anything, do you? I mean, you could smell the tires burning and shit. He started peeling out and shit. He drove to his homie's house to show him the car, and then after all of that, when he got back to the dealership, he was just like, all right, I'm out. And it's just like, that's the culture that people are in whenever you're doing all that, whenever you're in the car business. We had another guy that came in one time, and he was off of the drugs pretty heavily, or no, not him. He was sober. Here's the weird thing. He was sober, but his girlfriend was off of a lot of drugs. And you could just tell that she wasn't all there, and she kept trying to leave, and he kept trying to round her, like get her back. And looking back, now that I see that situation and I'm older, I could see that that's a possible trafficking type of thing. So it's kind of sad that I didn't think to do anything, but you have to also remember that when you're that young, it's just you don't think about stuff like that. You just kind of you're so naive, and at least I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure you guys are smarter than me at that age, but yeah, I was just like, I just thought like it was just a regular thing and I wasn't about to butt into their business, but we ended up selling them a car. And I remember just like thinking like, man, what's going to happen to that girl? The guy didn't want to give his information. He was like so vague about everything. He wouldn't tell us where he lived. He had like money, but he had it like all in cash. It was just weird as hell. But yeah, for all that, whenever it all ended up coming to pass, I ended up quitting at that dealership. And the way that I quit was, basically I got tired of being there. The head sales manager like chewed me out for something that like wasn't even my fault. And I just decided to say screw it. And I said, you know what? Fuck all of y'all. I grabbed a chair, flipped it over, walked out, and never came back. And some ways down the line, the head sales manager, or one of the head sales managers, actually offered me a position at another dealership, and I did that. So all is well that ends well, I guess. Oh man, that would have been cool to finish that off with the 0G. I can't land 0G chaplains on this thing. The Kraken has like so many things that I land on the Kraken that I just can't land on this thing. But yeah, but it is titanium and it's nice and it's beautiful, so I figured I'd bring it out for you, just because, you know, why not? But yeah, that's the story. I have more Dealership Chronicles, but I don't want this video to be too long, so rock on.